You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. The older I get, the more things I gotta leave behind. That's life. I believe there's an inner power that makes winners or losers. And the winners are the ones who really listen to the truth of their hearts. I am not the richest, smartest or most talented person in the world, but I succeed because I keep going and going and going. Dreams cost nothing. They are free. The hard part is just keeping them going. If you don't have a mountain, build one and then climb it. And after you climb it, build another one, otherwise you start to flatline your life. If you're willing to take the humiliation of sticking your head above the crowd, maybe it's, the pleasure will be worth the pain. I take rejection as someone blowing a bugle in my ear to wake me up and get going, rather than retreat. There's a natural law of karma that vindictive people, who go out of their way to hurt others, will end up broke and alone. You are what you leave behind. Most action is based on redemption and revenge, and that's a formula. Moby Dick was formula. It's how you get to the conclusion that makes it interesting. I believe any success in life is made by going into an area with a blind and furious optimism. All I want to do is go the distance. I think that gravity sets into everything, including careers, but pendulums do swing and mountains do become valleys after a while. If you keep on walking. I'm more focused and have a greater sense of challenge, because I constantly feel the weight of time. We're all expendable. We think the world's going to stop when a pope dies, or a king. And then, life goes on. Going on one more round, when you don't think you can, that's what makes all the difference in your life. Success is usually the culmination of controlling failures. Once in one's life, for one mortal moment, one must make a grab for immortality, if not, one has not lived. Love is totally about loyalty. People fade, looks fade, but loyalty never fades. Nobody owes nobody nothing. I stopped thinking the way other people think a long time ago. You gotta think like you think. Every champion was once a contender that refused to give up. Life is an opponent that never stops punching, so you better never stop punching back. If this is something you want to do, and if this is something you gotta do, then you do it. Fighters fight. It would be great to be able to pass on to someone all of the successes, the failures, and the knowledge that one has had. To help someone avoid all the fire, pain and anxiety would be wonderful. All the ones I've loved are now ghosts. But I will fight to keep their memory alive forever. Time takes everybody out. Time is undefeated. Usually whenever you're scared of something, do it. If you're not afraid of it, don't do it. Without love, loyalty, desires, passion, courage, dignities, faith, beliefs and all the other ingredients that go into making the human soul something so elevated that only God knows its limits, we are only shells bobbing aimlessly in a calm sea of mediocrity. Live for nothing or die for something. You've got to show your soul, otherwise you're just a piece of equipment. I have great expectations for the future, because the past was highly overrated. The fear is the fuel that we use for overachievement. If I wasn't afraid at times, I wouldn't work as hard. The man who can best gets along with women, is the man who can get along without them. To survive a war, you gotta become war. If I can change and you can change, everybody can change. Life is more than sunglasses and hit movies. Reality, that's the main event. I think that's become passé, but if you can surround yourself with a kind of monument to yourself and your family, a statement, and you can afford it, then that's a noble project. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. I learned the real meaning of love. Love is absolute loyalty. People fade, looks fade, but loyalty never fades. You can depend so much on certain people, you can set your watch by them. And that's love, even if it doesn't seem very exciting. The fear is the fuel that we use for overachievement. If I wasn't afraid at times, I wouldn't work as hard. Every time I've failed, people had me out for the count, but I always come back. Consider the source. Don't be a fool by listening to a fool. Your spiritual sense will make you either a winner or a loser. A lot of guys have muscles. A lot of strong men in this world. I think it's important to show that even under all this strength there's a fragile side, a side that can be affected. If you look back at life, I bet you will regret about 80% of your actions. But life consists of all mistakes. Remember, the mind is your best muscle. Big arms can move rocks, but big words can move mountains. Ride the brain train for success. You have to be really loyal to the people that supported you when you were coming up. When you're scared, when you're hanging on, when life is hurting you, then you're going to see what you're really made of.